Hello. There we go. Minish GG first. Okay. It is time. It is time to wash. So, what would you like to wash today?
Well, we could start one of the Buckingham files. It's like we could do the Sun Station.
Muck.
We've done, right?
Yeah, I can. So we can. Solar Station is the one that's listed as not done.
Yes.
Which I still think we did do it, but we could do it anyway. I remember there being 3 things, is the thing. Like, I don't remember this specifically, but I do remember there being 3 things, I thought. But we can do it anyway, so it's done. It's up to you, I'm asking you.
I do not remember doing it.
Well, then let's do it. Let's just do it, then it'll be marked as done.
Yeah.
Dirt Finder General, hi, how are you? All good, I hope. Excellent. Same. I'm Anna, head of coordinistics at Thrust Industries. I have an exciting opportunity. I don't know how much you know about solar energy, and in particular solar farming. Don't worry. We're not putting cows on the surface of the sun. Nothing like that, no. We utilize the energy from the sun by trapping it in complex photovoltaic cells that form structures that we call solar panels. Let me riddle you this. What's good for you, but bad for us? Give up? I'll tell you. Dirt! LOL! We're talking major reductions in efficiency when the cells are obscured. And that's the stitch we're currently finding ourselves in. Which is where you come in. You'll be delighted to learn that we've secured funding to get the entire facility cleaned. So, don't think you're coming all this way just to wipe down a few dirty panels. We wouldn't do that to you. LD, hello. Thank you for good luck. We are going to power and wash. We're pretty sure I don't know. This doesn't look familiar, but we did all the Buckingham files that existed at the time, so I'm gonna... Hold on, I gotta hit the button.
Doing it. Because I know we did the other 2, but maybe we didn't get to this one.
I don't know. I feel like this one was added later or something. I don't remember. I don't think we would have just not done one. That doesn't sound like that.
I mean, we haven't done the other.
But the other... That's different. The others got added after we stopped playing. Alright, I need to hit this button. This. Alright. Here's the question. Should I...
I'm gonna start with the solar panels.
Well, my question is, should we trident or should we not trident? We could do it no trident.
Sure, let's try no trident.
Do no trident? Okay. Alright, we'll start with solar panels. There we go. Oh, hold on. There we go. straight lines. Deadly! How's it going, Deadly? How have you been since you were here earlier? How interesting. How interesting. Which thing is interesting? Okay, to be fair, I did say I was going to play PowerWash. And I actually thought earlier about when Thundar mentioned that he was going to wrap up soon. I thought about starting PowerWash then. And then he would have seen that I was live with PowerWash. But also, I didn't want to start it like that exact minute. So, I was unfortunately in the middle of doing some other stuff I needed to do. It was semi-time sensitive, so I did think that was funny though. But remembering the button that I set to turn on my thing is a challenge. Ismoil, you might have done this one already. So this is from the Muckingham Files Part 1, but it's the third mission in it. And for some reason, Torny and I didn't have this mission specifically done. Even though we did the Muckingham Files. The Muckingham Files Part 1 is, like, pretty old. So I am not sure... So, A, it is free. It's actually not even a DLC. It's literally, like, it was an update. It's just part of the game. But, I'm not sure how old this is. I don't know why we didn't do this one. It's really weird that we didn't do it. Yeah, the SpongeBob one's a downloadable DLC. This one is literally just in the game. You don't have to download it separately. Because the original Muckingham Files were just added to the game. Like they're not a separate download at all. Thank you for reminding me to do the thing. I don't know what the thing is right now. But I appreciate the reminder about it. Oh, that doesn't work. Uh-oh, I put an ugly line in there. Oh no. Now these birds are going wild. Thundar did remind me about how much I missed playing this game without the trident. So, I am gonna at least play this level without the trident. Or at least maybe reserve it for the very end. Because the trident does have, like, I feel like a use, which is being very good at doing the one thing, the beam, the singular beam mode. But the trident's just too good. Like, it's so effective. Cookie dough from scratch. What kind of cookie dough would you be making? Would it be like standard chocolate chip cookie dough, or something else? Oh, that's also true. Making cookie dough from scratch at 10. I guess it depends on how long you're gonna be up. The big thing is, like, so most... If you make cookie dough and bake the cookies right away, and you don't, like, chill the dough separately, then, like, your cookies are gonna be a little runny. Not that that's, like, a huge issue, but... But, I mean... I feel like it's better to make... Like, make cookies if you have time to chill the dough. Like, you could make the cookie dough. Oh, you'd just be making it into a pizookie. Okay, well, that's fair. In that case, I guess it just depends on how fast you think it would take you to make the dough. Like, for me, I don't make cookie dough from scratch very often. So it would take me a long time, because I have to... Like, I have to remember things, like where I put things and everything. Like, it just... If you do something in the kitchen regularly, it's really easy to just do that thing very quickly. And if you don't, a lot of time is just remembering what you need to do, re-looking up stuff, whatnot. The only cookie dough I usually make from scratch anymore is crinkle cookies. Every winter I like to make crinkle cookies. I didn't make them last year, but normally I make crinkle cookies every winter. And that I make from scratch. And then you can chill the leftover dough. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, salted butter being in the freezer is not an issue. You can shred it with a cheese grater. The only issue would be if it's in a wrap, like getting it out of the wrapper part, which can be a little annoying if the wrapper's fused into the butter a little bit. But you can just shred it with a cheese grater. Oh, is it that big? The big chunky boy? The big old cube? Or is Kerrygold the rat? No, it's a cube, right? That's the big cube.
Like
It's the big rat, yeah.
thing.
I mean, you can still shred it with a cheese shred. Like, that doesn't suddenly make it unshreddable, just pointing out.
Like shredding a gigantic.
Yeah. We buy the big giant Tillamook claw and shred those. I mean, that's fair. If you want to procrastinate on it, you can. There's no harm in this procrastination, other than you not getting a cookie. Which, you know, is sad. It's a sad time. Not having cookie time is the worst time. We have an unopened big thing of cookie dough in our fridge. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda wanna just go eat a big old glob of cookie dough now. But, I probably won't. You made some bacon burgers, nice. Very good. We were going to make chicken and potatoes. We got some chicken that we froze in marinade that's been in the fridge thawing, and we were gonna do that and bake a bunch of potatoes. But then for lunch today we decided to order some pasta, some fancy pasta, and we just had so much pasta that pasta was dinner. There's not really a point to making dinner when we still had so much pasta. So instead, we'll probably make chicken and potatoes tomorrow. You may notice as you work, some of the apparatuses appear to be linked to the water industry. But nothing could be further from the truth. That said, it is linked to the water industry, but those parts are purely legacy and not integral to the current operations. Is this supposed to be not Earth? No, we're just in a desert. This is Earth. We're in a solar farm area in the middle of a desert. This must be the luckiest desert to not be in a drought. Well, so, I mean, there's like a whole lore thing with this. Like, we have like an unlimited water source connected to us. We are... I was talking about this yesterday. The lore to this game was that we are essentially the Doomslayer, but of pressure washing. Like, the lore to this game was wild. The single-player campaign is just absurd. Ooh, what's that? Alright. Hi, Zadwell. Zadwell hanging out with us. Oh, the 20 printer service is left. Ah, the satisfying ding ding dings. Pet a cat. There, we got some Zag pets. How's it going, Gitch? You may well ask, why install a solar farm in the middle of a desert, on top of a water station? Of course, it goes without saying, asking a question does not necessitate an answer. Minich, thank you for petting the cat. Yeah. I'm sorry, Deadly. There is no treat ritual for the month. Treat ritual will return in September. Miss Eagle Eyes, it is the boys. We got two boybies. They just snoozing about. How are you doing today? Glad it's Friday. Pain in progress in Subnautica. Nice. How... Well, I would ask how, like, far you are in Subnautica. But also, I wouldn't want to, like, put Subnautica spoilers for anyone who's not played Subnautica in chat. But I hope your Subnautica-ing is going well. We're doing alright. Played Puzzle Agent earlier today. We ordered some fancy pasta from the restaurant we ordered pasta from. That was pretty good. Yesterday evening, I found out my disability claim got approved, so, like, I can't go to work for this month, and I was real worried I wasn't going to get paid for the whole month, which was going to be terrible. But that got approved, so should get some sort of paycheck this month. That'll be nice. Basically, things are going about as well as I could hope today. A leave of absence early in the year, had to deal with some disability during that. Yeah, I still don't 100% know what I'm actually going to get. It seems very mixed. Different sources seem to be implying different amounts. But what I was most worried about, I technically have some, like, vacation time that I have saved. And I was worried I was going to have to use my vacation time to, like, support myself. Like basically all of it. 100% of my vacation time was going to be gone in order to, like, be able to pay my bills. Which, like, you know, it wouldn't have been like I wouldn't have had any money. But the issue is, like, if I had to do that, that would mean I literally could not be sick again, or have, like, another little thing come up, or, like, you know, actually go on vacation in the future. Like, I would just be... It would be very, very not ideal to have had that happen, so I'm glad I'm able to get something while I'm, like, here. Like, mostly it's annoying that it's, like, it was such a convoluted thing, because it's all came from, like, an actual injury I got at work from doing my job. There's more Subnautica spoilers in the thread. Nice. Also, I will be right back. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Packaged cookies have a resealable pull tab. I mean, Oreos does that. For some reason, not as many do that as if they should, since Oreo does it. But I think it might have been patented by Oreo at one point, so that could be, like, Nabisco might own the ability to do that specifically. Workers come to... Yeah, so my whole... Miss Eagle Eyes, my whole thing is that I fractured my hand at work. I tripped over something at work, and then ended up fracturing my hand. My whole concern is that in a vacuum, in theory, I could just do, like, I could do parts of my job with one hand. But what ended up coming up is that due to some other medical issues I have, having only one hand actually makes it functionally impossible for me to stay long term, like, on my own away from my house. Like, it's just, it's like a combination of three things that all came together. So I was really worried that the claim wasn't going to get accepted. So like, the workers' comp automatically pays for the appointments for my hand that I have to go to. So that's not an issue. But I wasn't sure if they would pay for the time that I can't go to work, because the paperwork is written in a weird way, because the doctor wasn't really sure how he was going to be able to do the paperwork, because technically a lot of it he can't mention. He basically, the workers' comp paperwork is not allowed to really mention a lot of stuff that isn't, like, directly from the work injury itself. It's not really allowed to recognize the rest of the person, which is a bananas system. That's, how can you not recognize a whole person when everything is relevant? That's a whole separate issue. Oh, good night, silly munchkins. I hope you have a good sleep. But anyway, so I was just very worried that the claim would get denied, for that reason, basically. That he couldn't fill the paperwork out directly to say definitely not work, but he basically filled it out to be as reasonable as he could with not factoring in the other stuff. So, but luckily it did get approved, so that's good. It's a huge relief. I was very, very stressed about it the whole last couple of weeks. Was there a PowerWash update? It depends on when you're referring to. I mean, technically the most recent PowerWash update was like a week ago, because that's when the summer level was added. But, like, there's been a bunch of PowerWash updates since the last time that Torny and I streamed PowerWash. Because when we last streamed it, it was right before the Christmas DLC came out. So we haven't played... It was actually... The last time we streamed it was when the SpongeBob DLC came out. We streamed the SpongeBob DLC. But I got kind of burned out on PowerWash, and I think it was a mix of that and, like, I wanted to do things that were more active. PowerWash is a very passive, kind of very chill, relaxing thing, which is fun, but, like, I need fix still. is the pirate theme, right? This is so good. The pirate. Is it called pirate? I don't know. But I love this theme. This theme is top tier theme.
What next?
What would you like to do next, Captain Zhang? Alright. Cat Quest 3's original working title was Cat Quest: Pirates and the Caribbean. Oh my gosh! Wait, it did get called Caribbean still, right? That part is was kept. Excellent. We were robbed of the great pun. I mean, Caribbean is still a good pun. But yes, pirates. R.I.P. pirates. Hello. Oh wow, it auto-finished that with a lot left. Goodness me. I wonder if an update did that as a global thing. Maybe on all levels they auto-complete a lot, like, with a lot more stuff done. Because I just feel like so many things are auto-finishing at like 90% instead of like 98 or something. It's still set in the Caribbean with the pirates. Excellent. You know, this song, I want to go listen to Questionable Explanations. We're going to switch me to songs. 1 second. There we go. We have some Questionable Excavations on. Probably my favorite song from Noita. Alright. Sure? What?
Oh, I thought you were running this thing.
No, I didn't run anywhere. Oh, you're good. You don't have to say anything, but yeah, thank you. I'm hoping no other random things come up. The like website I have to do all the claims stuff through, like randomly was like, as a reminder, you have until like a certain date to submit documents, but it said that after it said everything was approved, and I'm like, I don't know if they still want other documents of some kind. Like, so I actually messaged them. I messaged them this morning to say, hey, just to double check, is there anything else I need to do? Is everything good? Are we all good? But any correspondence takes like a minimum of 24 hours to hear back, so like I won't hear back from them until maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. So since I didn't hear back today, I won't hear back until Monday. Well, so it's a minimum, they say on their thing, minimum 24 hours, but then it is only on business days. So, like, and they will only respond, they're like East Coast based, so they will only respond, like, by 5 o'clock my time. But, yeah, so basically it's like, you know, what they might as well say a minimum of 1 business day. That would be better phrasing. You may well also ask, why wash down the water facilities when they are purely legacy and not involved in day-to-day operations? I mean, honestly, I wasn't asking any of these questions. You literally are just paying me to wash your stuff. I don't really have questions. Yeah, pay me, I'll wash your stuff. This is what I do. Minimum of 24 business hours, aka 3 actual days. That is how some of it is. And then one of the things I was required to do in my, like, paperwork that I got for them, because I live in Washington State, I was also required to apply for a benefit from Washington State, which is not actually a workers' comp related benefit. It's a little... I feel like if I had any sort of, like, backing legal stuff, I don't think you should be able to require somebody apply for the benefit they want me to apply for. But I'm not about to argue with anything because I don't need to make anything more difficult for myself. But anyway, so that benefit I had to apply for. I applied to it a couple days after this all happened, which was about 2 weeks ago almost. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago as of today. Well, so yesterday, the injury happened 2 weeks ago as of yesterday, I believe. Yeah. So I applied for stuff, basically, about 2 weeks ago. And the state benefit thing still just says on the website it's just pending. It's been pending for, like, almost 2 weeks now. At this point, though, I don't really care if the state benefit ends up approving it or not. I was hoping they would because I didn't think my workplace would. And if my workplace didn't approve it, then I wanted the state benefit to approve it. Because I think that if my workplace didn't approve it, then I could maybe make an argument for why the state benefit should have kicked in. But since my workplace did approve it, it doesn't really affect me if the state approves it or not. Mostly, what's kind of silly is that if the state benefit does approve my claim with them, then one of the things I have to do, that I had to sign an agreement for, basically, was that I have to pay my company back money. Like, if the state benefit pays me stuff, then I have to pay the company money, because basically they would not have paid me if they're like, oh, if you can get money to this to add up to, like, what you lost in wages, well then anything extra goes back. We would not have paid it to you. It's very, very dystopian. Like it's a whole form that basically just says, we just want you to know, we really don't want to pay you. If there was some way we could definitely avoid ever paying you, we would. We have to make this as clear as possible. We want you to know we do not want to pay you. Yes. Like, God, if like, there's just something that kind of cracks me up. Like, people who are like, oh no, businesses operate great. All businesses are wonderful. Like, no, businesses literally will not pay you if they can get away with it. I have forms that say from my workplace that say, if we could get away with never paying you, we would. It's just so comical to me. Like, again, very, like, dark comedy, but it is comical. I mean, Deadly, that is exactly... it really is how I feel like the paperwork was worded. I mean, it was worded to be, if you get payments, like, to make up your lost wages from another source, then you have to give us back money because we would not have paid you, is basically what the paperwork says. But what that means is just them saying, if we could not pay you, we wouldn't. Like, that is... That's synonymous. I just feel like instead it should be like, hey, you've worked for the company, like, not that amount of time, I guess, should really need to be a factor, but, like, still, like, you've worked here for X amount of years, there's never been an issue. We see your whole life has had to change for this next month because of your job. Like a thing happened at work, so you know what, we can accommodate you for a month. It's not even long term, it's short term because it's only a month. Like, it's not like it's, a whole year.
Back to the other side.
Yeah, Deadly, I am sure it's legal. Like, it sounds like it shouldn't be legal, but realistically, I'm sure that it's very legal. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like, it's this stuff that people... So, I think that a lot of companies can get away with a whole lot of stuff that is, in fact, legal because it doesn't affect enough people for, like, the public consciousness to really be aware about it. And, like, nobody's gonna really protest. Like, people are like, oh, there's a workers' comp system in place, right? So it must be fine. It's like how a lot of other benefits have happened, and you saw it a lot when COVID was, like, in its prime, like, at its highest points, where, like, a lot of people were straight up agreeing, like, oh, somebody gets sick with COVID at work, they shouldn't get paid, that's their, you know what, the company shouldn't pay them, like, there are people who genuinely believe that. But then there's just also a bunch of people, like, the whole thing is... The whole thing, again, is just, like, dystopian comedy. Dirt on this valve. Well, still in Southern California when it happened. Landlord straight up with government aid program knowledge from. And my landlord straight up with government aid program knowledge. I'm pretty much... I feel like there's a word missing. I'm missing something in that statement. The landlord did something.
And my landlord straight up withheld government aid.
Oh! With...
Except their family lived on site.
Yeah, no, it was withheld. Deadly. Yeah, sorry. I was, like, putting a pause that shouldn't have been there. I wasn't, like, combining withheld. I see now. Yeah, that's stupid. That's... The way the government money that went out to places... NPR did a whole thing on that. It was handled terribly. Like, so the money that was supposed to be divided, like, among a lot of states to go to a lot of people, and it was essentially, like, it was done so hastily that it was like, okay, we're basically going to give the money to all the property places, and then kind of let them do it. Like, each state, like, the federal government gave money to states to let them figure out how to distribute it to the people. And then each state, like, put up rules. But most states, essentially, were just like, we're just going to give the money to the property and say, use this money for the people living in your places. And the properties were like, huh.
Free money.
Yeah. And like, okay, I'm just gonna take this. Like, in some cases, what it was for is it was for, like, if people couldn't pay rent, then it was to be like, this is gonna offset the money you're losing, like, to let them continue staying there. Like, because they can't pay rent. And in theory, what it should have been, it would be like, you know, like forgive the missing rent. Like, use that money to say, okay, this would have been what your rent is, so boom, and then, like, do that. But since there was no way, like no real way given for them to, like, decide how to do that, for the most part, most of them just were like, I'll just say, like, write this as covered.
Yes.
Yeah, most of them just did stuff like that. In most states, people didn't actually get the money. Like, the landlords didn't even actually get the money. There was a whole thing where the money, basically, a lot of local governments, like county government stuff, didn't know how to distribute the money and never figured out a good way to do it. And so, like, nobody got it. I don't know whatever happened with it, but at the time of, like, NPR's thing on it, like, there was just a ton of money that just was not used. I think this is, like, the whole mixed bag of all the, like, red tape with a lot of government stuff. It's like, the red tape with government-related stuff usually is, like, a huge issue. Like, it's a huge barrier to a lot of people. And in a lot of cases, it's an intentional barrier. Like one of the benefits I applied for, I actually applied for, like, 2 different state-related benefits, and that very much felt like there was some barriers in there meant to try and prevent people from using the programs. But, like, at the same time, if you don't have any of the red tape, then you get the whole situation that happened with that relief money, which is you literally have people that are in positions of power that refuse to be, like, acting in good faith. Because there's a whole unfortunate thing where a lot of people that don't act in good faith manage to get into positions of power. You know, because of the not acting in good faith to begin with. So they shouldn't be there, but they usually did unscrupulous things to get there. Yeah. So that was another thing. I think I don't remember if this was part of a state thing. This might have been in Washington State. But there was a thing where any of the places that took money were supposed to, like, extend the dates of things, and there was misunderstandings, quote-unquote, about that. Whether those were real misunderstandings or not, I don't know. But even if you assume they were legitimate misunderstandings, like, basically people were supposed to be like, hey, while you've taken this, you're supposed to like, extend any dates, and they were like, oh, we forgot about the extending the dates part, sorry. Yeah, we forgot about that. Yeah, it's good. Interestingly, like, most people that I know that have lived in California did not like living in California. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've only known 2 people that have lived in California that ended up going back that liked it. Well, so I do have some family that lives in California that seemingly like it. But they are also like city people. Like they like living in a city. They live in Sacramento. And they're a fan of city life. I'm not a fan of city life. But I had some friends when I was in when I was much younger, like in high school. They were from Long Beach? Long something. I feel like it was Long something. And they loved it. They ended up moving back to it. They both... Long Beach is a city. Okay, probably Long Beach then. But they both moved back. I think their parents still lived in Washington, and when they got old enough to kind of live on their own, they ended up moving back out to Long Beach. So I don't know, maybe Long Beach is nice. But I've known a lot of other people. I was roommates with someone from California who moved to Washington because he didn't... He moved to Washington because he didn't like California. But then, while living in Washington, he did miss aspects of California compared to Washington. But the one thing he would constantly notice is that there seemed to be a lot of people in our area who moved here from California specifically. Whenever he recognized something about someone that would imply they were from California, he'd be like, "Hey, are you from California? What part of California are you from?" It's very, very funny. Still in SoCal. I think the only... SoCal just counts all of Southern California, right? There's not like some very specific region of it. I think the only Southern California I've been in was when Torny and I were stuck in Barstow for a few days. My first car broke down in the Mojave Desert while I was on a road trip with Torny. And yeah, I can tell you exactly where it broke down. It broke down at the Oasis in the Desert in the Mojave. It's the only place that's like a one building in like there's like 200 miles in each direction. Like, so yeah, my car broke down there, and we ended up getting towed to Barstow, California. It's very specific, like everything south of the Grapevine. I see. What? What's wrong? Oh. I don't remember where Barstow is. I know that LA is like closer to the ocean, obviously. Barstow was not near the ocean. Very different. Barstow is central. Okay. That is the most southern I've been. I have not been more southern than that in California. Prior to being in Barstow, I had only ever been down to Sacramento. So, like, I'd only been to Northern California and all.
It hit.
What? Hit?
Do you see where...
No, but I'm not looking at you. Where are you? Oh, there you are. You're way over there. I mean, I'll be over there eventually.
It's up here.
Yeah, I'll get over there eventually. being a tourist in San Francisco is the only reason you moved back. Moved to Missouri. Almost moved back to Missouri, but that's a task itself. Yeah. I mean, moving across states just kind of sucks. Like, it sucks in terms of, like, the hassle. Especially if you have to, like, move a lot kind of thing. Like, moving in general sucks. I hate moving. I don't think anybody likes moving. Although I guess some people hate it less. Oh yeah. The cats is gonna be the hardest thing. Like, I've never needed to move cats, like across states. That would be really difficult. Bjorto! Ah! I have fallen. That's okay now. I can get back up. Oh, I got one super jump, but not the second. Ah, we super jump. It's a 2-cat stream. It is. It is. Both boybies. Three view count dead. Oh, the bladder crystals. I assume then that's a male cat. Male cats get bladder crystals very, very easily, from what I understand. Oliver gets them. Oliver is on special food to raise the acidity in his diet, specifically to help with the bladder crystals. Luckily, since he switched to the prescription food, he hasn't had them. Or if he's had them, it's only been like once. It hasn't been like severe. When he was getting them, like, he had them like a few times before we had to switch him, and it was real bad. He was puking all over. He was just so miserable. Nice. Not the good prescription glue. There's something left on that pipe above your head. It's probably underneath of it, because I've been all over the top. Well, it's not on the side I'm on. Maybe it's on the other side. Let me go check. Oh, it's on the top of this side. I found it. I'm gonna have to go find the patch notes for this game. I find it hard to believe that everything is just vanishing with so much visible dirt now without them doing a patch that must have just done that globally. It's a little upsetting. Like, I want the satisfaction of knowing that I cleaned the whole thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I like it for, like, the little tiny grime that's in between, like, so on this in particularly, this little tiny little, like, slit here has grime that could get in it. And it's hard to clean that. So, that grime being like, vamoosed, you know, that's fine. But, like, it should be the specks of it in there. And I should need to clean the rest of it. The fact that there was a whole strip that I could see that just vanished is just... It's egregious. That's egregious. This is... I don't know. It's the opposite of, like, pleasant to me if it's gonna do that. Like, that's... rude. Egregious! Exactly. Anyway, Bjorto, how are you doing today? I hope you've had an alright day. Oh yeah, I haven't asked you in forever how like it seems like all your recovery things have been going well. But Torny once was asking how's that going. I assume it's been all going pretty well since it seemed like it was fine, which is good. Just got back from dinner. Meet the fuckers. Wait, wouldn't that mean it's your in-laws though? Weren't the... Well, yeah, weren't they in-laws? God, I forgot that movie existed. Who is it? Is that Ben Stiller? No. No, it's the dude. That's the dude from, like, Zoolander. I'm pretty sure it's Ben Stiller.
You said,
Meet the Fockers. What did you think we were talking about? Oh, the flock, right. I forgot that the you said this literally last week. Very cool. Gosh, I'm so jealous. That's like, ah. Oh, everyone was up in Seattle because it was the Fiber Fest.
yeah. Stuff that I don't get to go because, one, I don't really get fibers unless they have, like, wool or something.
Oh yeah, it's like all fibers.
Probably the thing I did, so I can't get more fabric.
I think You can get fancy embroidery things. Yeah, I think it's just like all kinds of like threading and stuff. I think yarn is the main thing. So, but the other issue is my experience is via the pictures that were posted like last year and stuff, which are from people who specifically wanted yarn. So I don't know if it was just yarn. But alas, we don't really have any way to get to Seattle right now, so womp womp.
There's not near.
Yes, it was with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro and Barbara Streisand. Amazing. Hilarious movie that probably aged like gold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched it when it came out with like my brother. I remember very little of that movie.
But you know, it almost certainly aged horribly.
Yeah, I mean a lot of already kind of like comedies in that vein don't usually age well. Yeah, I hope all the flock hangout was good. That's pretty cool. "20-year-old movie. Amazing. Ate too much dinner. Oh no. Pesky too much dinner. You may further ask, is this alleged facility in any way linked to Muckingham's alleged water shortage and the mayor's alleged mining rig? Nope, I still wasn't asking. I don't really care. I'm just here to pressure wash.
We are good guys. We don't care about the
At this point, I'd probably ask you to wind your neck in and get on with the job. I mean,
We don't care.
Yeah,
we
you're.
do this so
Please stop texting me about this.
Get off the call.
Went Hobbit mode and had dinner and supper. Listen, sometimes what happens is you have a little dinner because you're hungry. And then you get invited out for like, like dinner hangout or something. And then it's like, are you gonna say no to that? Probably not. Like, so then you have second dinner. That exact situation has happened to me on like multiple times. Like when I lived in Bellingham, that happened a lot because like I would never have like evening plans usually. I would be like, all right, I'm just gonna chill. So like I would be like, all right, I'm starting to get hungry. I'll make like a sandwich or something and have like a light dinner. And then my roommate would usually message me and be like, hey, we're all going over to like this bar or something for dinner and drinks. You wanna come? I'd be like, oh, sure, I should probably go have social interaction. I'll do that. But then I would feel weird if I just went and only had drinks because it was like everyone was having dinner. I usually get like a small like dinner. I feel like, all right, I'll get like a salad and a lot of alcohol. I mean, they were just it was college years. It
I'm not
was.
saying you were an alcoholic. I'm saying those were alcohol heavy.
They were alcohol heavy years. This is true. Lolette can also be a full emoji. It's true. It's true. Holding your belly.
Hey, I am happy.
Yeah. Yes. For some reason, there are bird sounds that keep playing, including, like, seagull-y sounds. I think maybe that's supposed to be a... I think that's supposed to be a reference to, like, these implying that they are very full of water. Dwarfspiracy represents the second stomach that's for dessert. Sure. Listen. There definitely is second dessert stomach. It's a real thing. Although, over the years I've tested, second dessert stomach does not accept all desserts. Like, really thick brownie doesn't actually work for second dessert stomach. It turns out that's still just that's heavy food. But second dessert stomach does work for like all forms of ice cream. Ice cream and similar things work with second dessert stomach, as well as like a lot of other things. But the really thick big brownies does not work. Pavlova is the perfect dessert for second dessert stomach. I don't know if I've ever had pavlova. The term is familiar. I've heard of pavlova. I don't think I've ever had it though. Like baked meringue? In that case, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I would like it or not. Meringue, I'm iffy on. I've had meringue that I've liked, but I feel like most of the time I've had meringue, it's not that I've disliked it. It's just that I wished that I had something else. Like I just don't find meringue to be particularly enjoyable. Seeing dacoits? I don't know what dacoits mean. I don't speak French! Listen, if I stand on a platform, then how do I get to have fun jumping? I tried to make like a big pizookie with our, with like how we make cookies normally, because we make like 4 cookies at a time in the little mini convection oven. And so I tried to make like 4 as one big cookie, more or less. But the center of it didn't cook all the way. But the edges were like perfect, so I'm worried that if I cooked it enough time and actually get the center to cook all the way, then the edges would burn. So I determined that the pizookie may not be worth making, like attempting to make it in our cookies, the way that we cook our cookies, bake our cookies. So I haven't done it. But I mean, we like the 4 cookies anyway. It works out. Putting some tin foil around the edges. Ooh. I don't cook with tin foil enough to ever like consider using it for stuff like that. That's probably a good idea. That probably would help. See, so, okay, for red sand, you see, the problem with reducing the temperature is part of the beauty of when Tori and I make cookies, is that we actually make them in our convection oven, and we've kind of, like, gotten it down so we can use the highest temperature we can get away with while, like, cooking the cookies through without burning them. So that we can do it the least amount of time. The idea being here, we have pre-made cookie dough in our fridge, and whenever we want, we can just, like, make cookies and have them ready to go in, like edible in, like, less than 10 minutes, basically. So, anything that would mess with that is right out. It's right out. Adding a little bit of foil to the edges might work, because that doesn't really add time, and I could probably still use my same cooking idea. Like, you know, I was really worried about playing this game, because I really thought my hand was going to get exhausted playing it. But I did forget that it had the dedicated button to just keep your sprayer going, and that alone has made this significantly easier to play. I played like a little bit of Lethal Company the other day, and while I can play Lethal Company one-handed, my hand got really tired from playing it. Mostly because of, like, needing to work, like, talking and running and like, just toggling between a lot of things quickly was kind of exhausting. But this, I'm, like, staying in one spot a lot, so I don't have to hold the movement button very often. Good. I think that I was worried because when I normally play this game, like if I wasn't doing it one-handed, I normally strafe a lot. And so I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how I constantly move, which is why Lethal Company made me, like, more tired. But I don't have to be strafing to play this. Well, that's the other thing. Like, Deadly, you properly make it in a cast iron, which is gonna, I feel like if the bottom of the cast iron's heating hot, like, I don't know. I feel like the cast iron probably helps cook the Pizookie. I did it just in a standard cookie tray. I unfortunately do not own any cast iron pans. At one point in time, I was going to buy one, and then my mother was like, I have extra cast iron dishes. I can give you some cast iron stuff. You'll probably have to, like, clean them up, but I'll give them to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And this was while we were, like, on a camping trip. And then I didn't bring it up when we got home. I remembered it, like, a month later. But I was like, it's not a big deal. And then, by the time I did remember to ask about it, I think that they actually got rid of them. My mothers were going through and, like, trying to declutter stuff, and I think they got rid of their extra cast irons. So, womp womp. But, like, I don't want to buy a brand new cast iron, because A, they're expensive, and B, I feel like I should be able to just find a used cast iron that's not $1 million, right? Like, the only thing you have to do for cast iron is, like, there's, like, a process of cleaning it. Like, if I found an old one, I would just clean it and then re-season it, and boom. cast iron. The texture on new cast iron is awful. Well, if it's brand new, that means you also need to season it, right? Because the texture on a new one is going to be unseasoned texture. Like, because the whole thing is like the cast iron, when it heats up, little like there's essentially it's porous metal, and the little pores they expand, and you need to fill those pores with grease. you need to grease up those pores, and then like do that a few times to really get everything in it. Yeah. Unsanded and pre-seasoned? What the? That's not right. I don't like that. I don't want to buy a pre-seasoned... I don't want a brand new pre-seasoned cast iron. That...
No personality.
Yeah, the seasoning is useless. Yeah, the whole... Like, the seasoning is supposed to be what makes it non-stick. Like, a cast iron is stick normally, and seasoning makes it non-stick because you've literally coated the whole thing in grease. Like what? What? Well, I won't buy a lodge, I guess. Like, I don't know. But I don't want an old one anyway. It's a shame. It's a shame that, like, they're so heavy and thus not cheap to mail. Because if they were easily mailable, I could probably message one of my grandmothers and be like, hey, would you mail me a cast iron? And they probably would. I mean, they probably would anyway. But I would feel really bad about how expensive it would be to mail a cast iron thing. I mean, I was gonna say there's better things they could do than pre-season to prevent rust, because we have lots of ways we can do that. But then I realized that in reality, they could probably, like, that would be a win-win if it's both rust preventative and it sounds like a marketing. Like, there's 100% people that don't fully know what seasoning a cast iron is, but they know that they should be seasoned. And they probably see pre-seasoned cast iron and go, oh my gosh, this is an absolute win. Like, you know. Boom! We did it! Alright. I'll go run around really quick, and then we... Hold on. Ooh, picnic. Ooh. See?
The gold.
Ah, there is some gold here. Interesting. Interesting.
Rock.
I see you, Gnome. Alright, shall we watch the thing?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Meow. Let's get that instant replay. That is very satisfying. On one hand, I'm a little bummed they took an angle that means you literally can't see one of the things you have to clean.
Yeah.
On the other hand, seeing these big square surfaces, just like, yeah, get shaved, that's pretty good.
Stuff.
Yeah. You know, and really that's what it's all about. I mean, they are beans. They are. Here, look, can I... Oh, I can't unpause this, I don't think, can I? Oh, I can.
Alright,
We need somewhere where you have... Because I don't think you have a... Water doesn't show up here. See? Bean! Stop. Okay, now walk away. Bean! What shape is that? Is that not bean? That's bean! That's bean! Bean! That's a bean. I mean, technically speaking, what it 100% is this game's made in Unity, and that's a standard Unity capsule right there. The characters have like a visual text like texture model, but the actual physical player is a standard Unity capsule. That's all the real players. This is a flesh suit. Are you familiar with the term an Edgar suit? We are a bean with an Edgar suit. Yeah, I mean, capsules are easy collision. That's the whole thing. The capsules are easy to, like, do the collision for stuff. Unreal also uses them. Ah, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure this game is still a Unity, though. I could have sworn I looked at one point. I could be wrong, but I think it's a Unity game. But capsules also let you do this fun. This is why we can do these very silly super jumps on these slopes. Because they actually did make, like, slopes. Mostly slopes. And slopes let you do... Slopes and the capsule butt kind of thing let you do these, really silly jumps. Like, this happens in a lot of games that have... A lot of games that keep capsule characters that also have rounded things let you do these, like, really massive jumps because of how it works out.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1
Ooh.
sub to a read sale.
Anon, thank you for the tier 1 to red sale. Red sale. You no longer have to get blasted by ads when I get up to go do stuff. And you get Dwarf Emoji. That's true. Dwarf Emoji are pretty good. Just noticed the little like chomping hype snake. That's very funny. Anyway, well, that was good. I think I'm probably gonna wrap up. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go back to the main menu. We'll go, because I learned a long time ago that if I stay here, Tornia will spray me when I'm looking for raid targets. So if I go to the main menu, see, there we go. Can't get sprayed. Alright. Who is doing thing? That's what we gotta find out. 50. Hype train level 50. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Oh, Ender is playing Bob as You, and he just started streaming for the night 30 minutes ago. So yeah, we're gonna go over there. For those that don't know, Ender on Rio, he's active in the modding server, the Hollow Knight modding server. He used to be really active in the Hollow Knight speedrun server in the Rando channels, but I think he kind of stopped being active there for the most part. But he decided, he used to stream like challenge stuff years ago and then stopped streaming, and he recently decided to get started streaming again, and he started streaming his first playthroughs of like puzzle games for the most part. He's recently started to branch out of some other stuff, but he's been doing a lot of like cool puzzle games. So yeah, we're gonna go over there. I forgot what day he's on for Baba Is You. He's in late game though. If you do not want Baba Is You spoilers, you should watch out. He is. I know the last time I checked in on his Baba Is You progress, he was in late game of it. But yeah, he's really good at a lot of like puzzle games. He like breezes through them. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I think like a lot of people miss. Like, you're kind of intended to miss them in the games, and then like discover them later. And he's been very good. I've been following along with a few of his things. He's been very good at like spotting things, which end up saving a ton of time, because if you notice them early, you like can make a lot of advantage with them. Like, anyway, tomorrow I'm probably going to be playing Puzzle Agent 2 in the morning, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope you all have a wonderful evening yourselves, or day, or whatever time it is. Take care.